Hey there, I'm QXC, and today I'm going to be talking about how to most efficiently use decks that revolve around chip damage from cards like Miner and Hog Rider. Alright, and let's just jump right into this game. So this is a ladder game that I played. My opponent's cards are a bit higher level than mine, but through more efficient use of chip damage, you're going to see how I'm able to actually take this game. So early on, a couple defining notes of this game is we're going to see a lot of cards like Princess, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Miner, Ice Wizard, Musketeer, Knight. This is all stuff that's chip damage oriented. There's no Giant, there's no Golem, there's no Sparky in this game. So the idea of 3 crowning your opponent or even really getting 2 trophies is basically non-existent. Early on, this is the first example of my opponent misusing his chip damage. So you can see the Princess pushing the left lane while the majority of his other units were pushing the right lane. This leaves my left lane as taking a few hundred points of damage, my right lane as also taking a few hundred points of damage. He would be much better served by focusing all of this damage into the same lane. If I had one tower that was closer to 1500 hit points instead of 2 towers about 2100, that would be much better for my opponent. The key thing to remember with chip damage decks, when you're playing against a chip damage deck, the only thing that really matters is the amount of life that your lowest health tower has. So keeping them both at about the same amount is really, really good for me. Much better than if one of my towers was quite low. So you can see that I am focusing all of my efforts on the right lane. The only time that I'm actually playing in the left lane is when my opponent is playing something in the left lane. And depending on the relative healths of my tower, it may be appropriate for me to actually let some things go on the left lane. So right now, there's no reason for me to respond to those spear goblins because my right lane tower had less life. All he's doing basically with playing those spear goblins on the left is balancing out the health of my towers, and that's fine for me. When you're playing against a chip damage deck, that's exactly what you want to have happen. So notice how I'm continuously putting pressure on the right lane. Here, a little bit of a misplay, the minions do get in, and he's actually going to be able to do a lot of damage here. But again, everything that I'm doing is staying in that right lane. So I'm not trying to split my chip damage at all. I continue to put a ton of pressure on the right lane here, and that's going to kind of force a pretty big response from my opponent. So those spear goblins, normally I would just let them go, and I wouldn't even react to them because of how much damage my right lane tower has already taken, but in this case, I needed my Mini P.E.K.K.A to redirect the attention back on that right lane tower, so I decided to zap the spear goblins. The Princess is going to be kind of the main point of contention that we'll see later in the game with my, well, towards the end of the game. I guess we're already pretty far into the game, so a little bit more. My opponent has recognized that the right lane is really where he wants to focus in this push, and so he puts a lot of effort into that, but it was not a particularly efficient trade. And this is the Princess that is kind of just a big bundle of question marks. So he's played it in a way so it is supporting this defense against this push, but because he played it in the left lane, he's actually going to have it just kind of wander off, and it's no longer going to be a part of the fight. This Princess on the left, 100% ignorable. There's no reason for me to devote any elixir to that. So he's basically lost 3 elixir worth of units that he could have had. I continue to put pressure on that right lane, and at the end of the game, you can see I've got a tower with 1200 hit points and a tower with 5 hit points. Just remember, guys, when playing with a chip damage deck, try to focus all of your damage on a single tower. When playing against a chip damage deck, you want your opponent to split their damage if possible. Thanks for watching.